Hey guys, today we are, yeah, that's Eric walking next to me. So he still doesn't want to be on camera, but he's going to be. Anyway, we are in Punta Gorda, Florida today. And the reason why we're here is because this place is so different than anything that I've shown you so far. We've been up here a couple times previously, but not to go too in depth. I will be honest, this is going to be kind of hitting some points about why you may or may not want to live here, but we're going to go in a deeper dive in a couple weeks when we talk about all the different communities that are up here, because there's a lot of growth coming to Punta Gorda. Population currently only about 30,000 people, so it makes it tough to not expand, because they're going to say, man, you got all kinds of space for more people. Right now we are at the Lashley Crab House, which is right over here. We're going to go inside in a minute. But it puts us also right over here next to the park. This park is a veterans park. A lot of, they'll have different art shows and different festivals and things. They'll fill this up with tents and music and people. And in fact, one of the attractions going on right now, we're gonna walk over there, but those people that are hanging out over there, they're watching them pull the boats out from the storm that we had back in, when was that? 2022. So they're just now getting the boats out of that marina. The people here, they kind of look forward to off-season. Off-season is when you don't deal with all the snowbirds. So that time frame from January through April, this is no different than Cape Coral, no different than Fort Myers Beach. They all get the seasonal visitors. We all get the snowbirds. So you're just going to live with it. You learn to appreciate the summer months. It might be a little hotter, but there's a lot less people around, so you don't find that you're waiting in lines for restaurants and things like that. We're going to show you a couple restaurants. We're going to show you a couple other attractions while we're here. But the main purpose of this is just to give you the ins and outs of why you might want to live in Punta Gorda, Florida. For each and every one of these points I'm going to make to you, we're going to have a tip to also offer you. Tip number one, if you want to go to a place like the Perfect Caper or Carmelo's, you need to call for a reservation at least a week in advance if it's during season. If it's off season, they say you can pretty much walk in anytime. That's how different it is to have the snowbirds here versus not. Now there's some places that you will go as a local and some places you'll go as a visitor. And the visitors tend to like places like Fisherman's Village. I'm going to show you that in a few minutes too. But that is just an attraction that will have all kinds of shopping and restaurants and things. The places that I'm going to show you, they're not as touristy, but they still get busy because the locals know they're good, and you know, people want good things. As I said, we walked up on this project. As you can see, everybody wants to see what's going on. There's a boat down at the end there. It's laying on its side that they're salvaging, and they're just cleaning everything out so they can get back to normal. There's that boat. Who knows how long? I guess that's still sitting from the original storm. But yeah, cleanup is underway. Over there is the crab house that we're going to stop over at, and you'll see that you get these great water views from there as well. So when it comes to places to go, one of the tips I'm going to give you is go to Gilchrist Park with a folding chair and a cooler for sunset. You don't have to go to TT's, you don't have to go to Fisherman's Village, you don't have to go to any of these waterfront places for sunset, because the park will do just fine. Ponce de Leon Park is another one that sits all the way to the west side. You can go there for sunset as well. Pack your own cooler, your own chair, you're on your own time frame. Hell, even take a mini speaker and you can have your own little concert while you're there. All right, next point is Punta Gorda is a biking town. There are multiple bike paths. I'm going to try and find the sign somewhere around here that'll tell you what those different routes are, but it's part of the biking network that's all over Florida. Comes right down through Punta Gorda, miles long of different paths. In fact, the path coming south out of Punta Gorda gets halfway down to Cape Coral before it stops, just because the road has not been widened yet. As soon as they widen that, they're going to add the bike path, and you'll be able to bike from Cape Coral to Punta Gorda. A little bit of a hike, but it can be done. Here's your pro tip. When you leave, make sure the wind is at your face, so that when you're pedaling back and you're tired, you got the wind at your back. Because when it gets windy here, it can be a lot of extra work to get back where you started. Okay guys, just like in Cape Coral, canals are not all the same. Gulf access is not all the same. Every single one of these properties has a slightly different setup. We have to look at the depth of the canals. We have to look at the bridge heights. Depending on how big your boat is, how tall it sits out of the water, you may have to be no bridges or direct access. And if that's the case, it does cut down on your selections, but Punta Gorda seems to have a nice array of properties to find those setups. And then there's some areas that have mangroves across the way, so you have a privacy benefit, and some of the canals are wider than others. So again, privacy and noise pollution can be cut down with that. But the one huge benefit of having a seawall in Punta Gorda, the fees to repair the seawalls after damage is done to them is collected in your taxes. So you will not have to come out of pocket to fix a seawall. Should it be damaged to the point that it needs replaced, it will come out of the tax money. Guys, we're at the Lashley Crab House. This is what the sign looks like going in, so you can't mistake it. And I'll show you one of the coolest things about this place. When you enter it, look at that. All that woodwork. Absolutely gorgeous. We're gonna go up to the crab house. Maybe grab a bite. Eric's probably gonna want an alcoholic drink. Right, Eric? You a big drinker? Just food. All right, so what else is really cool when you walk into this place? Look at that crab. Hello. Eric, where do you want to go? I'll show you the view real quick. We're not going to sit outside because today's a little warmer. That's the view, and they have sunshades. The sunset's going to happen right over that way. Okay guys, this stop is going to be Fisherman's Village. One thing to know about Fisherman's Village is the locals don't use it as much as you would think. It's more of a tourist trap here. Restaurants, shops, things that'll say wonderful sayings about Punta Gorda that people that live here don't really need to wear on their clothing. But you'll see that the parking it's okay. I'll tell you, it does get a lot worse as season comes. Right here, you got some motorcycle parking. I've used it multiple times. It is definitely a blessing to have. But these up here, those are all rental units. Kind of costly, especially in season. But I'm going to show you around a little bit of the area, give you kind of a lay of the land. I'll show you a couple of the restaurants here that seem to do well. They've got a great little dog shop in here, so you can get clothing and other things. Little marina as well that I'll show you here in a second. You can keep your boat here. There is also a cruise that comes out of this place, sunset cruise. So I want to give you an opportunity to see that. Yeah, these are all rentals. Nice places overlooking the water. And they do give you a pool area as well. So you have your pool area. Today's a little overcast. Not the best day. It rained the last 2 days. But yeah, it's a nice clean area. And you'll see, I know they got kind of ripped up a little bit during the storm. Looks like much of it is, yeah, see, they're repairing it now. Much of it's still not being used. This used to be full of boats. We've stayed here overnight previously too. And you can gas up in this location. Right up here, see, there's Towboat USA. If you're gonna have a boat, definitely either get towboat or sea tow. And then you'll see the Kingfisher fleet. If you want to do any of the cruises, there's the sign for the ticket booth. No ma'am, thank you. And as you can see, they will actually pick you up in a little shuttle and run you around. But we're gonna walk up in here and give you an idea. All right, there's the ticket booth that you'll use if you want to go on the cruises. Here's a little map. They do have also a shuttle that goes right down there to Cayo Costa. That's one of the places that we like to go to. Pelican Sound, that's the little bay that's right in that area. And then obviously Boca Grande, you hear me talking about the sandbar, which is right up in this area. But nice locations, and then that's where I keep my boat. So I gotta go all the way across to get to that. Anyway, get over here real quick. I want to show you, they added now a beverage station out here. They added this whole section over here because that bar was at one time supposed to be a full functioning bar. It's no longer. They have this little trailer out here for now. I guess in season they'll turn that back on. But they did this because it gives you another opportunity for sunsets. Okay, let's keep going. Give you an idea. Yeah, here we go. So you're gonna run into all kinds of little shops like this. They're gonna give you novelty sayings and novelty gifts for friends. Lots of sale racks that'll be here. You'll see all these bright, summery colors because, again, you're in vacation mode when you're here. And that is the Village Brew House. That is the most popular place here. And I'll walk you out there real quick and show you. So you can sit out front here if you choose. Or you can walk your way back up in here. And if you go out front to the hostess station, all of these tables are generally going to be available. You can request to be as close to the water as possible like we did last time. It was last weekend. And they'll put you right out here. And this will be your view. What do you think, lunch with this view? Could you handle that? Really good food, all different levels. When I say all different levels, we're talking about it can be bar food, it can be more of entrees like you'd find at an actual sit-down restaurant. But you're going to get a rather decent choice in what you want to get as far as food goes, but the ambiance is why you're coming here. Once again, more shops. If you're somebody that likes specific brands, you'll see the Alakai is carried here. I love Alakai. So the shoes and sandals. But like I said, this is all just, it's all shopping. That's what this whole thing is. That's why I said it's a tourist trap. And here's all the dog stuff. So you, dog lovers, that's your shop right there. Down this way, they are actually expanding certain things, but taking away others. Unfortunately, they took away Harpoon Harry's. It was one of the long-standing restaurants here, and it's going bye-bye because the new lease is more than they want to pay. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to keep giving you a little bit of a view of what we're walking with here, and give you an opportunity. Let's see, let's switch engines. Oh, wow. Man, the last time I was here, this was a new restaurant. That's shut down already too. All right, so let's go down here and check out what happened. Yeah, see the captain's table? Captain's table, that's shut down too. So the captain's table and Harpoon Harry's are both gone. They should be replaced with something else because obviously the views out the back are phenomenal. But as of right now, they've got it all blocked off. You can't get there. They've got the walkway around here blocked. Actually, it's not even repaired yet, so we're not going to get a better view from here. But again, here's the marina. There are the places you can rent. You saw some of the shops and restaurants and cruise ships. So anyway, that's Fisherman's Village, and we're going to walk over real quick. They have a bicycle station that you can rent bikes, and they also have a life jacket station so that if you have people that are on the boats with you and you don't have a life jacket, they actually let you use these life jackets. You just have to return them. You remember that life jacket station that I mentioned to you? I'm going to go ahead and show you real quick. So right here, borrow a life jacket. It's a pretty cool program they have here. So all you do, borrow it, bring it back. Different sizes for different size passengers. They do have ice available here at the fuel dock. 10-pound bags, $3.50. Let me see if we can find these rental bikes too. I knew they were up here somewhere, unless maybe they got removed from the storm too. You'll find that most boating places, most marinas, will have carts. This is their version of the carts, pretty much the same that they have in most of the marinas. Oh yeah, you can see how that got ripped up. This place really got beat up. But this walkway that I'm on right now, this joins different trails. You can take this all along the river, back into some paths over by Lashley Park. And they're very dog friendly here, if you couldn't tell by the dog store. So you will have dog pickup stations that'll be out throughout the different parks and things as you work your way around. Okay, it looks like the bikes were removed and are not available any longer. Here you'll see you'll have different signs that'll tell you where to go. The arrow is pointing in that direction. So if you want to go to any of those places, that's the way to go. Okay guys, I told you that there were other places to go to get drinks and stuff like that in the area. Well, we found the Salty Tarpon, and we're currently at just about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and you'll notice the patronage in there is a certain age group, but this is what you find here. This is what we do for our extracurriculars, and what I wanted to do is we're going to jump into this place right now for a second. It's called the Ice House Pub, and you're going to see why I want to show this in just a minute. Think about the word pub, and we're talking about English bar. They have an outside area and an old phone booth. Pretty cool. All right, but this is the setup that you see. Pretty wicked, huh? Jesus. Very cool. So this is going to be the old English style pub. How you doing?
Doing good. How are you doing?
Yeah, lots of choices. And if you just want some entertainment, you've got a pool table, dartboards, and they do have dart leagues here. But this is the kind of ambiance you're going to get right now. It's not quite time for everybody to turn out yet. It'll get busier as we get into the evening. Tons of different ales and other craft beers. But yeah, if you want somewhere unique and different, come to the Ice House Pub. All right, guys, we're going to do a quick little tour of a property here. This is a Gulf Access riverfront condo that could be had somewhere in the mid 500s. Maybe if we have favorable conditions, we can get it a little bit lower, but the view out of this place is stellar. Light, bright, just beautiful colors, completely redone, top floor, and you can't get any better than that view. 180 degrees of waterfront. Pool down below, hot tub. So you got decent amenities. You're a walking distance. Oh, right over there, right over there is Fisherman Village. Hold on, let me bring it back around. Can you see it right out there on the point? That's Fisherman Village. So that's how close you are. Just gonna do a quick little walkthrough in here. Primary or master, as I like to say. One sink basin out here. Another one in the bathroom. Completely redone shower. Very nice. So yeah, crisp, clean, ready to move into. Now, These units can also be rented. If you're looking for something shorter term, you're going to be looking somewhere in the $2,000 a month range. Remember, these are individual owners. They will get to pick and choose what rate that they offer. But Eric was looking into these for himself, and we found that pricing seems pretty consistent across the board. But yeah, there's an idea of I'm not going to call this a Gulf access condo though, because you don't have docks. It's a Gulf view or a river view place. Yeah, no docks at all. Okay guys, another thing that's very common for Punta Gorda, just like Cape Coral, is we prepare for storms when needed. We know that the season starts right about now. We just hit beginning of June, we just hit hurricane season again, and the first thing that we start talking about is stock up on batteries and water and propane tanks, gas tanks, all that kind of stuff. We don't go crazy as soon as a storm is supposed to track our way. We wait until the last, I'd say maybe 3 days to see exactly where it's going before we start gathering supplies. But the point to this is, don't wait to the last minute. You wait to the last minute, the last day or two, you're going to be scrounging for the leftovers at that point. So the tip on this one is have a hurricane box prepared. Just get all the stuff ahead of time. They even have a sale that they do in Florida where there's no taxes on anything that you buy that's storm related. So DeSantis, thank you again. All right, another one that you definitely have heard before. Wildlife is always present. It's going to be around no matter whether you want it to be there or not. Gators, obviously, top of the list. Everybody wants to know about them. I will tell you, actually, I'm going to have Eric tell you. Eric, how prevalent is it to have gators come up and want you to pet them?
Well, I actually never had them want to pet.
No?
We do have them at the condo, though. We had, what, the 4-footer the other day, and we had the 8-footer. But, yeah, we don't see them too often other than in the canal and not bothering anybody. So the
point to that is Eric is new to Florida in the last year or so. He's visited, but now that he's here full time, he's out and about a lot. And gators aren't a problem. It's not something that he worries about or is scared about. So you shouldn't be either. Now you will see iguanas darting across seawalls. Again, Eric lives on the water, and he's always telling me about these massive iguanas that he's seeing out on the seawalls. And the gators like to eat them, believe it or not. I think I might even have a clip to show you. Armadillos nosing their way through your garden. It will happen. I had to have a family of 4 or 5 removed from one of my listings. They kept burrowing underneath the lanai, and it was causing weakness in the lanai floor. So they had to trap them, fill in the hole, and move on. But yeah, armadillos can damage your property. So if you see them, you might want to get that taken care of. So the takeaway on this is, yes, there's snakes. No, you're not going to see them. They're just around. It's kind of like all these other things we're talking about. They will be there. They're not going to be in your face. They're not going to come say hello, but they're there. They exist. Your tip is don't blindly go reaching into bushes and things of that sort. Take a golf club, a broom handle, something, poke around. If you have to dig into a tree or a bush, just make sure there's nothing in there waiting to take a bite out of you. Okay guys, we are up on the next location, and this is one that's gonna be probably a highlight because it is so sought after. I'm gonna show you why. This is Titi's, the Tiki Hut. They have live music here many times on weekends, right in this open field. They'll put a bandstand in with many chairs. Parking is not plentiful. If you don't get parking here, you have to go back beyond those buildings over there and park in that lot. Problem is, they're trying to sell that lot right now to be able to build more stuff. But you'll see right there, and this is something I recommended to Robin and Pam when they were making their move here. 4 Points Sheraton, they loved it. It's a great location. Best thing about it, not only is it clean and comfortable and close to everything, it's right there with the tiki bar. So come over for sunset, walk home, no Uber, no nothing. You're ready to go. The other thing about Titi's is it's on the river. So you can see right there, you're going to have the sunset right over that way. Shoo. And it's on the water. You can pull up with your boat if you choose to. These docks are still completely torn up from the storm, so you're not going to be doing it now, but that'll eventually be fixed. But as you can see, the gathering of folks starts early in Punta Gorda. It is a little bit older crowd, so they're coming for the early bird, I would imagine. Other places you're going to find around here is Dean's, south of the border. It's probably the latest bar and restaurant that you're going to get into. They'll be open till 2 a.m. in some cases. This place here is definitely open well past 9 or 10 o'clock. Punta Gorda as a whole, many of the things close down around 9, 10 o'clock at night. It's just a small town, not a lot of options. But the other cool thing I have to show you about TT's, the sand floors. So most of this out here is all in the sand. You get your Adirondack chairs. This is, again, dog friendly. Bring your doggy pets with you. They will have a great time here socializing with other dogs and taking in the view. Tip on this one is get out here by 5:30 because all the locals will pick their spot and you'll be fighting over parking spots. And you can hear the music is already going. We're gonna flip it around for you. There you go. Live music. They're not bad. Sing better than me.
Come on, you're not doing your disturb stuff.
Okay guys, another thing that I was tipped off to is that local zoning, there could be some issues. Short-term rentals, I know that they're a little more strict on it than Cape Coral is. You have to do some registering of the properties and recording of it, make sure that they're properly taxing you and everything else that goes with it. Another thing is they say it's okay for boats and RVs to be in these areas, but we have not seen it. And PGI or Punta Gorda Isles, Burnt Store Isles, there's some very nice homes and kind of prim and proper. So I don't foresee RVs and boats being as commonly in driveways as what they're stating. But that's what they're stating. And whenever you're adding fences and docks and things like that, the local government still, just like Cape Coral City, has a say in the end as to whether you're going to put these things in. You still have to get permits and all that. They're supposed to be really, really strict up in this area as well. I don't have any direct experience with it myself. I can check with some of my clients and find out if they've had any issues, if they've added these things. But it's known to be a little bit more strict with government officials when it comes to things like additions on your property. Okay, so the whole RV rule and boat rule for the driveways, you can get a permit just like you can for Cape Coral to put them in your driveway. You're not allowed to stay in it while it's there, and you can only, did you say use it 7 days out of 30?
It can only be there for 7 days out of 30.
It can only be there for 7 days out of the 30-day window you're given. So, can be a little strict. So the tip on this one is just to know that the guidelines are very strict and to check on those before you make any changes to the property. Now this is something you're not going to see until probably season, but it says even though it's a small town, the calendar is packed. There's always lots of events going on here. You just saw live music at, what time is it, Eric? Shoot. It was probably about 5:30 when we were going by, maybe 5:45. So yes, we're well into the evening. People are going to getting ready for the sunset, which happens around 8 o'clock here this time of year. But just keep in mind, once again, even though small town, there's always going to be something going on. So don't be worried about having nothing to do. Oh, the tip for this one, the tip. Yeah, you got to get on the Chamber of Commerce for Punta Gorda if you want to be in the know as far as what events are coming, because the tourists don't know to go there, don't know to look there, and aren't going to know what's going on, but the locals do. Punta Gorda is also a great base camp. You can go to places like Caye Costa and Boca Grande from here. Now again, by boat, it's still going to take you a good 30 minutes plus. Driving, it's going to be probably 45 plus. So they're not easy locations to get to, but that's one thing that we said already. Punta Gorda it's a smaller, quaint town. It's not as close to things, so you might have to drive a little bit to get to them. But Cayo Costa and Boca Grande are great locations to get to. Those are, you're going to need a boat to go to those two in most cases. You can get to Boca Grande over the bridge. There's one bridge in and out, but most people tend to take their boats to get there. You can go to the Peace River for some kayaking. They also do fossiling up there, from what I understand. But Babcock Ranch does eco tours if you're into that kind of thing. And Matlacha, which is down by Cape Coral, it's kind of like an artsy fishing town almost. There are some fresh fish markets there, at least there were prior to the storms. And there's definitely some art galleries there. So if that's your thing, check out Matlacha. There's a really cool area of the town also. It's a historic district. Really nice homes there. We're gonna pass through and try to get you a visual on some of those homes, but I think almost any city that you go to, if there's a historic area, I mean, everybody likes to pop by and see what the homes were like to some extent. Punta Gorda is no different. It's just not going to be as much of it, but it's definitely more quaint than many other cities in Florida. So in this area that we're walking, we are in the downtown Punta Gorda area, and I have to show you because right over there, that building that I'm zooming in on, that is the Wyvern. There's a rooftop bar, Perch 360. Perch 360.
On the rooftop for breakfast, Senator bugs on me.
Here's a fan. This is the Perch 360. You can see the view. Then you have Spring Hill Suites right here. Okay, so another place to stay. And right behind that mural building over there is where the 4-Point Sheraton was. So you have these three wonderful hotel opportunities right here off the river, close to the entertainment and the food and drinks. It's all very close by, so you can't go wrong on any one of them. It just depends on whatever the pricing is that you can get and how close you want it to be to certain attractions. But you'll see that many people are, because the parking here can be a little more difficult, they are coming down and parking here in this like center of town. And like I said, they're in the process right now of selling this so they can add more attractions. I don't know what's going to happen to the parking, but it is going to be an issue at some point. Guys, now we're on Marion Street, and I want you to see what's here, because there's an outdoor bar and grill right there. They use a food truck for the food. Mexican Isabel and Annabelle. That's FM Dawn. That's popular here. You have a few more restaurants down there, as well as the Celtic Rays is down there as well. So this is the strip that's going to be most active, and it's going to give you the most opportunity for those things. Once again, if you're trying to come in season, make sure that you have reservations. Otherwise, you might be waiting for a little bit. Okay, a little bit more insight regarding what they tolerate and don't tolerate in Punta Gorda. Pickleballers are not really welcome here, and it's because pickleball courts are in Gilchrist Park, right across from the historic district, and apparently a lot of people take offense to the sound of the pickleball being smacked around. So that might not be your best friend, and you might have to find somewhere else to play it.
Pickleplex.
Pickleplex. Okay guys, so that's a little bit more about Punta Gorda, Florida, and some reasons you may or may not want to live there. If you have other questions that you need answered, check out one of the other videos. And if you need more information, do what everyone else is doing. Call, text, email, Zoom call, use the app, whatever it is, because I've got your back when moving to the Gulf Coast.